In national news now, the Trump administration is moving ahead with one of its most aggressive steps to restrict legal immigration, issuing a new rule that could make it tougher for immigrants to receive green cards if they need public assistance. Our Washington Bureau reporter Samantha-Jo is taking a closer look at this new policy and how it differs from the one already on the books.
The Trump administration issuing a new rule that makes it easier to reject green card and visa applications if the government deems it unlikely applicants can support themselves.
If people are not able to be self-sufficient, then this negative factor is going to bear very heavily against them in a decision about whether they'll be able to become a legal permanent resident.
For decades, the U.S. has restricted the immigration of individuals expected to become a public charge, those who rely on government benefits to survive. But Randy Capps of the Migration Policy Institute says the new rule, expected to go into effect in October, would have a much broader interpretation. Immigrants who use public benefits like Medicaid, housing vouchers, or food stamps for more than 12 months over a 36-month period could now risk being categorized as too reliant on government services.
It's any use, not primary dependence. And they've also amplified this test of whether or not you're likely to use these benefits in the future.
The new rule would only apply to those seeking green cards in the future, not to current green card holders. But experts say the new policy could prevent people from using benefits they're entitled to.
That could mean a fair number of people that don't get insurance coverage through Affordable Care Act or through Medicaid, that wind up getting sicker and showing up in hospital emergency rooms.
Active U.S. military members, refugees, and asylum seekers are exempt from the new regulation. But Capps believes ultimately it could significantly limit legal immigration in the future.
People who are already here in the country, who are less well educated, have less English proficiency, don't have a job that's going to pay them a lot of money lined up. And they're people who could be excluded because they're likely to use benefits in the future.
The National Immigration Law Center has already said it will file a court challenge to this change, and others are expected to follow. But experts tell me that this new rule is likely to survive in the courts because immigration law is broad and vague in this instance. In Washington, Samantha-Jo, Spectrum News.